Oh, fantastic. Strong start.
How about we do this?
Strong start
How
right
about we do
here.
this? How about you do like an opening and I do an opening.
Ladies and gentlemen, probably mostly gentlemen, this is the first episode of Fat, Dumb, and Angry featuring Nick Sabansky. Basically a podcast detailing the depraved mind of one of our best friends here who just freaking has everything to say about everything. And frankly, you're probably going to be slightly offended, but that's the idea. And here we go. Nick, would you like to introduce yourself, obviously, because the cornerstone of this whole enterprise is playing off of you.
This is Nick. I am fat, dumb, and angry. All three of those things at once. It's really a lifestyle choice, much like Buddhism, you know? When you decide that what you're looking for, I'm looking to both make people upset, make people fat. I mean, if I can make people fat, that'd really just be by far my greatest achievement. Angry, or at very least displeased. I get a little bit of joy out of that. But yeah, so what I'm here for you people, everyone likes being called you people, is, you know, there's a certain mindset that I have that I don't believe a lot of people in the United States today has, that they really need to get it in gear, all right? And that is, you know, fuck what you heard, all right? Fuck what, you know, people tell you to think, what you're supposed to feel. Even actually, fuck what you actually do think. Think what I think. That's what this country's built off of, okay? You know, I am now your Fox News. All right, get ready for that. All right. Do you mind if I try an opening as well?
Yeah.
Just do one? Okay.
Unfair and unbalanced.
I
There
like
you go.
that.
That should be-
Unfair, unbalanced. I like the concept of fuck political correctness,
Yeah.
because that shit is run rampant, and I think we should.
If you have a Tumblr account, just turn it off
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Let's turn it off now.
All right. Good evening, cunt fags. This is the first episode of Fat, Dumb, and Angry, all right? Now, fuck political correctness, all right? I'm going to tell you what I think, all right? We got a lot of problems with you people, all right? Except for the fat people. I appreciate you. You don't get a lot of play these days, but guess what? That Mike and Molly bullshit ain't cutting it anymore, all right? That PG fat people. I want the fucking the stretch marks in your face fat people, all right? Stretch marks up to the tit fat people, all right? That is my America. And you know what? They're good people, all right? They love their Pizza Hut. Everyone loves their Pizza Hut, you know? So, okay, now that was my opening. But let's move on to we'll cut that up. I think Ben's was pretty good.
Ben's was pretty good. All right,
Honestly, that whole exchange I think was perfect.
fantastic.
Talking about how we should open the show. Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Explains everything.
I'll give mine a go now. All right. Welcome, young viewers.
Hopefully not too young.
Not.
If
We're trying to be offensive, but not illegal.
if you happen to be too young, my email address.
Just wait for a later episode.
I have an AIM account.
You can reach me at
Jesus
Snapchat
Christ.
with
Yeah.
pictures of my penis.
So this is something that I've wanted to do for years. I've been saying the entire time he was my drummer. Entire time I was sitting, listening to his bullshit after band practices, after shows, after everything. Trying my damnedest not to get shot whenever we played down in Hartford, and keeping the mic out of his hand, because
It's a safe and wonderful city, New England's rising star.
So I've been saying for years that
if you're Latino.
we got to get Nick Sabansky. We got to get your mind out there to the public. I've been privy to more thought-provokingly stupid, soul-crushingly horrible, and mind-blowingly fucking offensive conversations than I ever thought I would. But it always leaves us laughing and with a terrible taste in our mouth. So, with no further ado, Nick Sabansky.
I am Nick Sabansky. I am Fat, Dumb, and Angry. With me is Mr. John Monstro. Also with me is Mr. Ben. His last name is withheld.
Redacted.
Redacted.
For safety reasons.
I'm gonna run for president one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of this shit's.
Make me like the Surgeon General.
Surgeon General. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get the kids healthy,
I was
all right.
thinking like maybe Secretary of State or something. Obviously, the best thing we can possibly do is let you loose on the Middle East.
Yeah, no, solve all that shit right there.
Yeah, we need to fuck soldiers. We need to give some guns to the porn stars and send them over there.
Porn stars.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's going to piss off an Arab more than a
Yeah.
naked fucking Jenna Jameson coming at them with an M16.
What people don't understand is that you can't, what you have to do is defeat an ideology, you know? You have to defeat what's behind it. And the best way to do that is to get them all really amped and erect for American society, you know? Once they're like, oh fuck, this is, I really love white people, look at them titties, that's when we truly win.
That is how regimes fall.
Yes, that is. Saddam fell to white titties, people. So, okay. So
What, he was just down in that hole jerking off, and that's how they got him?
What else is he doing?
I have come out of my room after 3 days looking just like that. So, it's a little caked on though. Tell me those pants didn't move when he left.
So we'll start this off, and I will try and guide you through the mind of a Sabansky man, which if we ever get Joe on here, you'll know that it's chronic. It is
Terminal.
genetic. It's genetic. It's terminal. It's fucked.
Yeah.
It's not just one of them. The entire family's fucked.
Soon they'll be able to vaccinate you at birth for it. So,
Sabansky.
I think that's called a condom. You should wear one.
But the first time I ever hung out with this kid 5 years ago, I responded to a flyer that was posted in Guitar Center looking for, what was it, a bassist at the time, I think.
Yep.
Was that what it was? And I think I called up and you answered, and it was a very brief, like, I want to do this if it's not bullshit. And you're like, it's not bullshit. And I'm like, cool, I'll see you later.
I was still trying to figure out if it was like going to be a hookup or a real thing,
Oh, Jesus.
So I
Christ.
shaved my pubes that day just in case.
Not holding back at all. You're telling the full story. I was ready to go G-rated with this, but apparently not.
Well, I'm pretty much.
So I show up for the first band practice. We're not going to get into your pubes, Nick. And we hang out. We do the band thing, and we take a break for lunch or dinner, whatever it was. We go to Subway. And while we're sitting there with Nick and the guitarist and the other guy. Well, because what? No, fuck it.
It was
not important. Not
Sven
important.
Johnson,
Well, because what did we have?
Galen
two?
Bissett.
Oh, I must have been doing guitars at the time because Sven was on bass.
I don't know what
Sven was
doing.
on bass.
He was on skin flute.
So we're sitting around, and
Good solo, man.
and the first conversation I ever have outside of band shit
What, did he get his ribs taken out?
was, what superpower would you like? And we're going around the table, and Sven says what he says, and Galen says what he says, and I think I said something about freezing time because,
Women's locker rooms.
well, there too. No, I'm thinking like fucking freeze time. You can do whatever you want. Skin, yeah. And we come around to Nick, and he's like, I want super strength.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, super strength. But Nick, explain your reasoning. Why do you want super strength?
Well, there's a lot of practical applications for super strength, all right? Saving babies, building skyscrapers, all those kind of things.
None of this came up at the time,
Yes.
though.
But I have...
What was your reasoning at the moment?
By far, I've come up with the best reason, personally, myself. Now, let's say you're in an amorous situation with a woman, all right? Now, everyone, you start off little fingering and whatnot. Like everyone, you end
one
up,
does.
fist in there. And I was thinking to myself, well, if I had super strength with my fist in a woman's vagina, now these two things happening in my perfect world at the same time, I could put my other fist gently, but, vivaciously at the same time in her asshole, lift her up above my head, and just tear the bitch apart. And in a glorious moment of both raining blood and pure adrenaline, I think you'd achieve what I would classify as the optimal male orgasm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nirvana.
Yeah.
So that was my introduction to Nick Sabansky, and now that is your introduction. So
What about you, Ben? What would you say?
God.
Oh boy, well, it's
How you gonna
subbing
follow
time,
that up?
obviously. Yeah, how am I gonna follow that up? Subbing time is obviously one of the better ones. I'm not gonna steal anything from Dane Cook because he wouldn't steal any jokes from anybody. Shooting spaghetti at people, which was a hilarious bit. I don't know. I've always wished that I could snap my fingers and light stuff on fire. Just because if I was ever stranded in a terrible wasteland, I'd be able to survive. Plus, if anybody ever fucks with me or makes some joke at my expense that I don't have a witty comeback for, honestly, the best witty comeback of them all is to set them on fire.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So I think I'd probably go with that. Lots of practical as well as very insightful philosophical implications for dealing with the rabble of the world.
Now, that brings an interesting idea. What do you think would be the best superpower for survival? Say you're trapped on an island by yourself. What do you think would be the best one for that?
Flight.
Immortality.
Well, okay, I'm saying, yeah, okay.
Well, he picks. It's just I'll outlast it. I'm just like, get the fuck out of there.
Well, let's say you can't go anywhere though. You're just there.
The
Let's
ability
say-
to transform into a boat.
Okay.
It's very specific. Not just transform.
Yeah.
Just transform into a
Form
boat.
of boat.
Now here's my idea. I like Kevin Costner. So my idea is more like my urine becoming high C, you know? Fruit punch. That'd be my superpower. Urine that could be anything you want.
Bear Grylls.
Milk. Yeah, exactly. A better way of drinking your pee. My only fear is that you wouldn't really know when you're bleeding through your penis.
Well, it would be like cherry.
Why? Because it's both red.
Yeah, everything's red. I mean, you're drinking it. I guess the only way by taste.
Hey, you go from lemon to cherry.
You know, that also makes me think about another thing too. Does anyone else out there have I'm not gonna say irrational. This is a very rational fear, but just the fear of your testicles getting twisted up in there.
That's a thing. Testicular torsion.
Like, do you stay awake at like feeling them, trying to see if they're crossed? You know, moving them back and forth, like because I roll around all the time in my bed. Anything could be going on in there.
I do not do that.
They could be monkey knotted for all I know. What the?
We did, however, name a kid in our
my
lower
God.
pledge class testicular torsion.
Yeah.
And I actually know someone
Like a
who has
superhero name.
experienced that driving around in his car. I don't know what he was doing. He's a very aggressive driver. He might have been really
He's a
sort of
very aggressive ball turner.
humping the seat as he was speeding at 125 miles an hour down the residential highway. But no, it's a very real, serious problem. And if you don't get it fixed, then your balls will turn black and fall off.
Really?
Well, actually, maybe not turn black. I mean, that'd be a good thing. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, because there's some times when I'm like, ejaculating and it hurts, and I'm wondering, oh shit, like, is my shit all crossed up down there? Or is it just?
That's not normal.
That's because that's like the 8th time you've masturbated in the last like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
There's nothing left.
Yeah. I'm really draining the barrel here, people. But
we're getting off topic.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Off topic.
That is the topic now.
That's the topic.
What else was I gonna say about superpowers? No, I was gonna say this. What do you guys think? You people might be the best, most like not like best, but like the most epic kind of way to die. You get to. I mean, we all get to kind of choose our death in a certain kind of light. But what do you think would be the most epic way to go?
Whew. Well, just into contemporary culture, I would say, Dr. Strangelove riding the atomic bomb down to incinerate tens of thousands of Japanese people.
Now, there's no phallic imagery in that, is there?
No,
because you're riding it backwards, so it's totally fine.
So it's very vaginal.
So it's more like a
imagery.
poop, maybe.
Well, you're waving your hat. How many times do you wave your cowboy hat when you're taking a poop?
There's a lot of times, I don't know why I do this. I'm about to get really real with you people right
All
here.
right.
But sometimes I'm taking a huge dump, and it's like, it's like the bag is tearing, it's like it's reached its maximum peak, and this is like the all or nothing moment when like it either gets better or worse from here. And so when I get to these moments, like for some reason, I don't know, maybe I'm gay, I don't know, but for some reason I think it's just funny to just yell out, I'm coming, like I'm coming out of my butt with this giant turd. So anyway, that's off topic for the death.
So one of 3 things can happen, I suppose. Either you're going to ejaculate, you're going to tear your anus, or you're going to have an anal prolapse where your colon falls out into the toilet, which would probably be the worst of all 3, I think.
Now, what about that for a superpower? Prolapse?
No, that's
like you could use it like a rope, lasso.
like the lasso of truth.
Yeah, lasso of shit.
Horror.
Yeah, lasso of horror. There you go. Because
You don't have a lasso. Oh, yes, I do.
yeah, don't they say that like your lower your intestines like super long? Like you could fucking find yourself out of a maze with that thing. The Minotaur wouldn't be able to stand.
Like breadcrumbs. Sort of
Breadcrumbs,
Hansel and
yeah,
Gretel
Hansel
kind
and
of
Gretel,
thing.
but
You
with
just
your
lay
anus.
Just
your
start a prolapse
intestine
and just start
down.
walking.
And if you get to a dead end, you just follow your intestine back to the last intersection. It makes perfect sense.
Why not?
But what'd be interesting too is once you did that, you'd be able to like see the poop going. You'd be able to follow it down, maybe step on it, kind of like shoot it out, Anyway.
We're gonna win an Emmy.
So, what would you think a most epic way for you to die, John?
I don't know. I always kind of been fascinated with volcanoes. You look at Lord of the Rings or something, like the fucker jumps in and he's just. I mean, you'd think he'd be shrieking in terror, but all he can care about is that ring.
Yeah.
It's a very boring answer, but I don't know. Jumping. Because you light on fire before you melt.
Yeah. You die probably before you reach it, right? Or something.
Right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that shit where like throw it on and like shit kind of explodes and then it melts?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, the heat, your body's mostly water.
Ben's looking at me like, I don't know what the
evaporates.
fuck is that.
Well, no, it's like I don't know if we need copyright for this, but we were watching the movie Sunshine the other day, and a couple of the characters, spoiler alert, are obsessed with the sun, and they end up basically staring into it until they're incinerated. So basically, you don't have to fall into the sun to burn up. You'll actually completely burst into flames like thousands of kilometers away before you actually reach it. So yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Your nice little falling sensation. You're just accelerating towards it. It's like skydiving plus.
Which makes me think. I mean, because it's
If I could skydive into a volcano,
it goes.
if I'm
from,
terminally
like,
ill, that's the way I want to die. I'm gonna skydive into a volcano.
It goes from like
Make up your mind.
The sun to space, right? So it goes from like absolute zero to the sun. So I like to imagine that somewhere in between, there's a perfect spot where you can just like put out a folding chair, just sit there. It's like a nice 90 degrees, you know. You have to get like the perfect probably place, but I bet you could. That'd be nice.
I don't know if this is the proper forum for any kind of actual scientific knowledge,
NASA.
but you'd still be in a vacuum and your eyeballs would blow out of your face.
Well, I'm talking
your
like-
blood would boil and
let's
you'd
say-
still die.
Let's say, I don't know, you're immortal. You're floating in space with your superpower.
Okay, Wolverine in space.
Yeah.
Copyright. All right. If anyone wants to make that movie, you have to come here first.
Wolverine in space. There we go. It's like Jason in space, right?
Yeah, because that didn't suck.
No. Yes, it did. So I would say one of my most epic ways I would think about killing myself. Well,
Nick
dying.
Savansky in space.
I think it'd be cool to like, disembowel yourself and like rip your stomach over your head and let the stomach
What's
acid
with
like
you
pour
over
on
your head?
Well, I like looking up. I don't know. Maybe I have a positive outlook on things.
Yeah, most of our stomachs aren't that big, though.
Mine is. I mean, I'm fat, dumb and angry, but that and this one's phoned in from out in general society. One of my friends, he said that one of the most epic ways to die would be to stand on the track of a bullet train, and as the train is coming towards you, right before it gets to you, the baby that you have in your hand, you throw into the train. So right before you die, you see the baby just explode and then you get taken out. And I just imagine, what must the driver of that train feel? He feels terrible that moment he kills the baby, but then he feels a little bit better once he kills you because you're the one who killed the baby, So he's got these mixed emotions, probably an erection.
Well, I mean, if you're driving,
If you're a train driver,
you probably
yeah.
have an erection.
He's probably there
anyway.
the entire time. The entire time, just sitting there with the semi.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bullet train, not a semi.
Trains turn me on.
Well, actually, my Japanese professor told us that if you're going to kill yourself in Japan, don't throw yourself in front of a bullet train because it makes everyone else late. So, just don't do that, folks. It is a real inconvenience for the hardworking people of Japan.
This is a public service announcement.
Nobody will miss you if you do that.
No, any of the American subway stations, they'll go for it. It's already rat infested and covered in shit, so you're not
You
really
gotta
going
feed the rats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're not going to really do any damage.
And the mole people that live under the subway.
Although, again, average weight of an American is probably twice that of a Japanese person, so you may run the risk of a significant derailment.
I think we would get a much grander splatter too.
It's true. Artwork, modern art. There we
Especially
go.
because if I was gonna do it, I would eat like a shitload of soda, some KFC. Like I'd fill myself up to pop. Just chug a bunch of pop rocks, right before you did it.
Right before you do a 2-liter thing of diet soda, and then just right before you jump in front of the train, eat a fuck ton of Mentos.
Yeah.
So when you get hit,
Look, if feminists can claim that it's art when you have your period on top of a canvas and then sell it as art, then we can
Does that
claim that
happen?
it's. There's a picture of it on the internet
Yeah.
somewhere. I don't know. And we can claim that it's art splattering yourself into a front of a
Now,
bullet train.
for my listeners, this is something I've been interested too about feminists is that for some reason they feel like they need to go out and fight for the right to walk around topless. Now, personally, I don't know who would care. Like, what are you fighting for that right for? Because everyone wants to see you topless.
I don't understand that at all, because it's half the time we're trying to get them to take their tops off, and then when they're doing it willingly,
Half the time.
Yeah, right.
we're trying to get them to take their tops off, and when they're doing it willingly, we arrest them.
Yeah.
What the fuck? fuck is going on inside a policeman's brain when he's arresting a topless woman?
Well, he can take them back to the station.
There it is.
You get to grope them a little bit.
There it is.
Turn off the cameras.
There
when,
it is.
when a bitch is handcuffed, she can't fight. Yeah, behind their back, that's actually a very good posture for a woman for breast support. Just personally, from what I've seen. Not that I watch a lot of people handcuffed and stuff.
From your scientific studies.
I've spent many hours watching pornography, so you don't have to. All right.
Taking notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Learning.
For your children, send them to me. I'd love to have them.
Mail.
Well, actually, the male kids aren't as bad because you can use them to get female kids, and then they make friends and then come back.
I meant in the mail, but
like what? Oh, in the like the United States Postal
like
Service?
sent to you via some other
Oh.
country. Russian mail order brides.
Russian mail order son.
Actually, you know what?
They have that.
Russian mail order brides are dangerous because obviously if you've lived in Russia for any appreciable time in your life, you probably know how to operate a firearm. You can probably make a shiv out of any household object. But an American mail order bride, send them
Helpless.
over there, completely helpless, don't know how to operate anything. And plus, if they try to run away, they're going to get tired and fall over after
Yeah.
like 2 miles.
And yeah, they need all the support they can get. So here's my idea. We want to screw over Russia. Let's send them all of our women, They'll be caught up with the next 50 years just trying to take care of these bitches, They won't be able to do anything against us.
Like the Real Housewives
Yeah.
of Red Square.
They'd be like, they would need like 4 men per woman, to deal with their shit. I can win the war for us people, but I mean, we just haven't been voted into office yet. So
Yet.
yeah.
Yet. The popular vote has yet to.
Hillary Clinton is gonna get some head from me in the office, so be ready for that. They don't call it the Oval Office for no reason.
Ovary office.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Why don't we? I want to clear this up. Actually, I feel like it's the right platform to do it. I always had assumed that the term "head" referred to the head of the penis, and therefore giving head was something that a woman or a gay guy did to another man. However, most people that I talk to assume the opposite, where head is referring to that it is your face that is sucking and or
Licking,
filleting and or whatevering on the other person's genitals. How do you guys feel about
Well,
that?
yeah,
Other than great.
I've had arguments about that too. Like, does head mean oral sex, or does head just mean getting your dick sucked? Like that's a very interesting conversation.
Unless you have like a giant clitoris, which could...
That's kind of cool.
In which point
Any
you don't
girls with
engage
those?
anyways.
Because I mean,
Some people are into that.
wouldn't it be easier to be like sucking a giant clitoris than to have to like root around for this thing, try to find it, and then like have to like dart your tongue around and like, oh man,
Nick,
just
why
let me
you
suck a tiny little dick and get it over with.
That's the soundbite.
That's one perspective.
That is the soundbite for the commercials if we ever do the
Bumpers.
promos.
Done.
Right there. There it
It
is.
won't be gay. Also, eat fresh at Subway.
It depends on... Well, okay, we'll give you another plug here. It depends on whether you have to root around through some sort of Arby's-esque roast beef sandwich
Yeah.
to find the clitoris in the first place.
Is most
It's like
likely
the
what
end of
you're
like an
getting.
exploded joke cigar.
Yeah.
Oh.
Something about vaginas, like just when I look at one,
Something about Mary. Something about vaginas.
something about that vagina is just, and they bleed out of there. I only bleed out of my penis like once or twice, a year. So now my butthole, that's a very different
the
topic.
other hand.
Yeah, and I got good toilet paper
Or I guess
too.
with
so.
the other hand, I don't know. Good toilet paper. Always invest in at least 2-ply.
Yeah,
Because listen, I mean, I am not paying money to wipe my asshole so that I can accidentally stick a finger up my butt. I'm not into that. If I want to do it, I'll do it.
Anyway, do you guys have any ideas about your pooping technique?
No.
Anything you do special?
I don't know.
How do you sit in the toilet?
I've never taken a shit in my entire life.
I'm right there.
I've never pooped.
I've actually been saving it all up inside of myself.
One glorious event. Get in front of that bullet train, son. Yeah, see?
Why waste it?
Exactly.
There's definitely some usable energy in there.
I had an
Just
interesting...
because our human biology can't process it doesn't mean I shouldn't take advantage of it. God damn it!
Your insides could be what we use to relight the sun,
Right?
Save up all that. Just a big ball of burning poop.
Toss it in there.
Classy.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. All right, so...
Well, in space, no one can hear you
poop.
smell.
Nobody can watch you wipe. Actually, how will
It's
you?
not true.
Well,
It's not true.
but how would
I
you?
know from experience that's just not true.
In space, it would be very interesting to poop, because like once it comes out, it won't go anywhere. So it's just kind of like, but there is some force of pushing.
Suction.
When
This
you push
is-
it out,
this
is
is-
that going to launch you a little bit?
This is actual. Technically, yes. Newton's third law of motion. No, this is actually
to Mars
This is
from poop.
actually something that someone had to figure out because in order to take a shit on the International Space Station, you like attach yourself to this toilet. They make a nice suction ring around your ass cheeks, and then it just sort of like you push. Of course.
Does it suck it out?
Yes, it sucks it out. There is some negative pressure inside the bowl, and it just.
So do they test these astronauts for prolapse before they send them up? Because you can't have that in space. That's how missions get scrubbed.
Yes.
Yes,
they do.
The Russian guys are like, oh, yeah,
Yes,
the
they do.
American.
Yep, they do. Of course,
Wow, the way you said that.
in the beginning, you just shit in your spacesuit and you just live with it.
Interesting.
Can you
Was
hold
that-
it? No.
That's
No.
they wrote their notes.
So
with
that
it.
was the length of the space mission. How much feces can we put into our spacesuit before we die of
Basically.
piling up. Let me go home.
that? And that right there is fact.
Perhaps unrelated information, but the longest sort of, or at least in the American space program, when they were first seeing if like people could survive in space, the two guys that were up there, they were up there for like 3 weeks. And at some point during the trip, the one guy turns to the other guy and is like, well, it's time. And the other guy says, are you sure you can't hold it for another like 10 days? The answer was no.
Of course not.
And he shit his spacesuit. But you know what? They designed for that.
There's some times when I'm driving in a car, I'm 10 minutes away from home, and I'm pretty sure I'm about to just give it up and just crap myself. So I guess these astronauts really are the true heroes.
Give up the brown ghost.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so sad that my will is so weak.
Make
Man,
it 10 minutes. These fuckers make it 2
Yeah.
weeks.
I'm already willing to just. But I mean, they're not eating McDonald's, I guess. That will be the first thing probably in space.
That will be the first.
Yeah.
That will be the first franchise in space.
Our fries.
McMoon.
Yeah.
Moon, yeah.
First building on the moon is going to be a
McMoon burger.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
And then the bathroom out back because, yeah, you're going to have to.
Just a hole into space.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're not even going to build a toilet. It's just going to be. They're just to suck it right out and shoot it out the back.
Until
Zero gravity.
you know how we have so many satellites around Earth? It's all going to be poop.
It'll be
until
the rings of poop around the moon.
blacks out the sun. It's just so much shit in the skies. That's the world I'm looking forward to. That's how we defeat the robots from the Matrix.
Future is now.
Just so you know.
That's actually how they blacked out the sky in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Just shit
poop.
into it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Feels like a good place to stop, right?
oh no, of course not.
Only you can prevent global poop.
All right. So let's move on to maybe another subject here. So yeah,
I'm curious if you can regale us the story. There's certain shining moments in the relationship that I've shared with you that I've witnessed. Can you
Debauchery.
regale us? There was a girl that we knew, actually we didn't know, that was part of the story, who friended us all on Facebook through the band, and by the end of 1 week, you had her crying. Like, can you tell us about this? What was her Rose something?
Stacey Rose, I think.
Stacey Rose. Oh my God, I was laughing my ass off. This is a girl that none of us knew. She friended everybody in the band, and we all just ignored her. We accepted the friend request. She said hi, and that was it. This kid, on the other hand, decides he's going to like degrade her to the point of questioning her own existence, and it's the perfect of like why bother? Why put the energy in? Because why not?
Because I am society's Batman, all right? I mean, this girl...
That's why.
She needed to know that these people like me are out there, And she wasn't going to learn that until I showed it to her, So, of course...
She just wanted your love, Nick.
She just wanted another Facebook friend. She got way more than that.
She wanted the statistics. She wanted one more name on her friends list. She didn't give a fuck about you, and that's we were totally okay with doing that. But no, you had to take her down a peg, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching that unfold.
So, yeah, the conversation started where I think she said, like, hey...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey.
I don't know if she sent it to everybody.
How
but
many Y's did she put on her head?
enough to make me upset. I know that. So yeah, hey. So I started talking back to her. I didn't start right off the bat because you really got to build it up where they think something can actually happen between you guys. So I remember we got talking for a little bit, and I was like, well, why are you friending me? You know, why do you want to be friends with me? Obviously, she didn't give me any answers I appreciated. So then it got to a point where, like, I think the biggest, when I first started it, it was, yeah, you know what? I mean, I'd like to talk to you and be friends, but I'm not friends with ugly chicks. And bear in mind, this girl isn't ugly, so it must have really stung.
Yeah, she was very attractive.
Yeah.
So for you to say that to her, considering the way you look, considering the way she looks,
nothing mean has transpired yet, too. It's just, and I tried to say it where, like, she didn't really know if I was just being mean or if I was just, you know, just kind of being who I was and letting her know. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just can't be friends with ugly people, you know. It's just as it was, and then that got her pretty angry.
She wouldn't let go.
Yeah, it devolved.
It didn't just end there. She's like, fuck you, and that was it. No, it kept going. She wanted your approval, Nick.
She wanted to be friends for some reason. She wanted to
this is a girl that is
to submit to her.
This is a girl who has never had negativity thrown. She has never not been accepted.
This is
she
a girl
could
who
not
didn't
deal
get
with
molested.
rejection. What?
This is a girl who didn't get molested, and that really could have saved her life. So I mean, we got down to this whole, I don't know, all this yelling, and I'm just really just trying to make her feel ugly and not really feel good about herself, you know, because I'm trying to toughen her up, you know. This is what the world is like, you know. She needs to know. This is for any of you pretty girls, but no pretty girls are going to listen to this, but pretty girls need to know.
I think we lost them around the poop talk.
Yeah. When I started with cunt fags.
Oh, yeah. Hate cunt fags, yeah.
But pretty girls need to know how to deal with life being ugly, because guess what? That's where you're going to end up. You know, you can try your best to stay hot till 50, but that ain't going to work. All right.
Unless you got fucking plastic surgery, it's gonna sneak up on you and it's gonna hurt.
Yeah. So if you're ready for it now, then you're gonna be
like a bullet train.
Yeah, like a bullet train. I remember one of the good things I said to her was that I don't know, like, don't talk to me unless you want to be, unless you want to fulfill your one and only purpose, sodomy or something. Yeah. She was like, yeah, you be sodomized or something like that. Like,
And despite all this negative shit, she kept talking to you.
Yeah. She, that says something about, like, that's like, you know, when you're walking home from somewhere and there's like, you know, maybe like a squirrel or something's trying to give it food and you just kick it. It just keeps coming back. I mean, when something like that,
an orphan or something.
Yeah, orphan, puppy or something like that. If it comes back, you kick it a little bit harder and then a little bit harder. And then next thing you know, you're just stomping on this thing until your erection has gone away. I think it's happened to all of us. You know?
Yeah, I think it's happened.
Mainly at the bank. I don't know why, but I have a lot of these interesting things at the bank happen. Speaking of which, where are the bathrooms in the bank? And why won't they let me go to the bathroom in the bank? Yeah, exactly. I was at the bank like a week ago, and this elderly guy was asking to use the bathroom, and they're like, nope. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is like, he has to empty his colostomy bag or something probably. Like, Jesus Christ. Do they keep the money in the bathroom? Is that why?
These are the questions that plague our generation.
These are the times of our lives.
As the hourglass turns.
Yes, the days
These
of our
are the shits of our lives.
So yeah, I have a lot of these kind of experiences with women. People I've known in real life, people I've dated. Throughout this whole series, we will touch upon plenty of those people. If
will the names be changed for their no, fuck them.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll already have to redact the first one in post processing.
Hey,
for legal purposes.
If you didn't want this to happen to you, why would you date me? You know, you know who I am.
They will after this. That's for damn sure.
After this.
It's not entirely their fault, I guess. You know, because you gotta, as a man, you gotta lie to them and make them think you're someone else.
So Nick, if you're going on about the dating, there's something you said to me the other day that really stuck with me. There's more than one. This is your exact wording. There's
quote
unquote. There's more than one way to skin a cat. More than one way to abuse a woman.
Yes. Yeah. I've had women ask me to hit them just because their reason behind it,
playfully on the ass, no,
was like punch me in the face. You know, like the reason behind it was like I just want to feel on the outside the way I feel on the inside. You know, I'm like, well,
She's the keeper, Nick.
yeah,
She's the keeper.
she's gone now. But
Definitely
anyway,
put your dick in that.
so yeah,
It's like that scene in Watchmen when the chicks are looking up at him and they say, "Please don't rape me," and he whispers, "No."
because they need a little bit of romance. You know, that's the thing.
Right, you light some candles, you stick one in her ass. And then,
The candle? Or,
yeah, lit candle.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you not seen Pirates the porn?
Well, can I tell you something that I learned?
Oh my god!
I missed out.
You should definitely see that. It is excellent. It is.
I've seen the.
It is the most expensive porn movie ever made.
I saw it at a party. Someone put it on at a party.
I saw the Zombie Strippers one with Robert Englund, the guy who played Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Was his dick in it?
No,
Oh.
no.
Oh, I'm just curious. You know,
Curious?
imagine his dick looking like
like Freddy's dick.
yeah, like
all
his
burnt and
face.
shit.
Yeah, it's all burnt and like fleshy.
That's
Maybe
actually-
it's got one claw. coming
No, because
out.
he's not dressed as Freddy, but that's the only part. Like they based the whole movie off of his burnt ass dick.
Wait, so that
Really?
does that mean that Jason's dick has like a hockey mask on?
Yes, yes, it
little
does.
one, yeah.
Have you ever seen Bruno?
Yes.
Bruno. Yes, it has a hockey mask on it.
Protection.
Well, I mean, there's something I was going to bring up earlier when you mentioned candle in the butt.
Comes out in all the holes though.
Ah.
What I have a guest coming on my show in a few weeks, determining on when we start releasing these. But
Yeah.
I was at a party with him. His name is Caleb, and he educated me as he always does on a very interesting topic. And one of my favorite is always, and as you will know, sodomy. You know, what's my little rhyme? You and me in ecstasy, sodomy, you know, like something like that. But anyway, so what he was telling me, which I'm pretty sure is true. I'll get some fact checking on this.
All right.
All right. For my listeners, they need to know the truth. But in Canada, there are two separate ages for consent for vaginal and anal sex.
Really?
Yes. So you have to be, as a gay man, you have to wait a little bit longer to have
Really?
sex. Yes. Which is very
Is that
interesting.
fair?
Which I'm thinking like, well, if you accidentally go in the wrong hole, they just bust down the door, take you away, you know? Just
Now you're arrested.
now, can I talk about one of my other friends on the same kind of subject? My friend Willow. I'm not going to mention the girl actually because I like her, I appreciate her, but I will tell you she just gave birth to twins. Anyway, so there's this great story.
I think I can piece that together.
There's this great story about him getting intimate with a woman, and they were having a great time, you know, and he was pleasing her in ways with his hand. And when they finally decided to have sex after 30 minutes, he realized it was the wrong hole that he was pleasing her with.
She didn't stop
After
him.
30 minutes of
She
getting,
didn't say anything?
of getting violently prodded in the butthole. This woman, now this is wife material, people, all right? This is a champ, okay? Now this
Didn't say anything.
yes,
Just
this woman could be a spy. You know, they'll never get anything out of her. So I've given some lessons for the young men out there, and that was a lesson for the ladies. You know,
yes, I think we've learned a lot from Nick. Nick, what makes you fat?
high calorie meals, takeout, and
Zero
not,
exercise.
Yeah, not
Zero
moving.
exercise. All right, so now we're taking notes here. What makes you dumb?
What makes me dumb? Well, I live in America. That's one thing.
really all you
I
need.
watch a lot of pornography, and I enjoy Seinfeld.
All right, and what makes you angry?
All of you people.
All right.
People and your stupid ideas and telling me what I can and can't say and what anyone can or cannot say.
All right, well, that's episode 1.